Hello everyone, welcome back to another session with me. This is Sanyukta Saxena and we are working on this series in which we are learning tangles issued by various CZTs, right? So we have already drawn a couple of tiles and today we will be learning two more new tangles and also draw a tile together using those tangles, yeah? The first tangle is by CZT, late CZT, in fact, Bunny Wright, and the tangle is called Heartrope, right? So how does it start? It starts with a straight line and then you have to add these, what should I say? Just turn it around this line, wrap it around this line, the first line, the second line. So they are basically at 90 degrees angle to each other, slanting like this, right? And then you just have to add auras like this, one at a time to all. So add simultaneous auras, don't heap auras on one line, yeah? A beautiful tangle, very simple to draw, purely aura based, Heartrope. So how many auras you want to add, it all depends on you. You can add less, you can add more, yeah? You can ink this space if you wish to, or if the spaces are bigger, you can also add some other tangle. Yeah? The general way to shade is to highlight these intersections where lines are going down. Yeah, so that's the best way to shade the tangle, to highlight the intersections. Yeah, so that's the tangle Heartrope. One more very beautiful tangle, very organic, free-flowing tangle that we are going to be learning today is called Luv-a. Yes, it is Luv-a, and it is series of heart shapes arranged in just about any fashion. Yeah, a tangle by Sharon Caferio, CZT. Right, so I'm going to move in just about any direction. It is a very organic tangle. You can add etching, looks nice. They can be any shape or size and they can move about in just any direction. If you want to enhance its looks, you can add fescues, you can add some umble, you can add anything you wish to. Yeah, that's the tangle Luv-a, generally shaded where we are putting the etching mark, the thatching, right? So good idea is to shade here. Yeah, so just add some bit of graphite there and your Luv-a comes to life. Yeah, so that's Luv-a and that's a Heartrope. Today we are going to be using these two tangles and draw a Zentangle again. So let's start. So I'm going to first add a border with my pen. I want the border to show. So with a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards this beautiful art form, towards the beautiful tools and supplies that we use to create it, add a light-handed border with your pen or pencil, whatever you feel like, right? And then I'm going to probably add a nice flowy Heartrope in between. So what I'm going to do is add a bigger curve, add a nice curve again to the line. Yeah, same tangle but a little curvy lines like this, and probably one more. Yeah, and then if you want, you can just add a small highlight and ink the rest because the spaces are bigger. Add a small highlight, ink the rest. Yeah. Once we are done with that, we know what to do next. Start adding auras. Yeah. If you want to create a tangulation, you can add tangles between the auras also, right? So you can add a thicker aura and add tangles in between the auras. So it's entirely up to you. How do you want to enhance the look of the tangle? This is just a small thing that I am doing, that is to add some curve to the line. Again, adding the second layer of aura. I hope you can see that I am adding one to each. Yeah, just like we do for crescent moon, adding one to each. Take your time. Again, adding one more. So the more you extend it, the more woven effect you will start getting here, right? Once the auras start to intersect. So now you can move on like this, and then the other side. Like this. Yeah. So that's a heart rope, and now I'm going to insert some luvas, nice luvas, add some beautiful etching. They can flow in just about any direction. You can form flowers with it, you can form creepers, vines, anything that you feel like. Draw it the way you wish to. Another nice thing that you can do here is add these orbs, caviar, stipple. Go well with luva. Small spaces in between can be inked. Looks nice. Right? Take your time. Add as many as you wish to. Even umble looks nice, so you can insert these delicate looking umbles here and there as far as luva is concerned. I'm not adding a double border. Generally umble has a double border, right? So there is aura on both sides, but I'm not doing that. I don't want to extend it too much. Yeah, probably one or two more here. Take your time, do it the way you wish to. Enjoy the strokes, enjoy the new tangle that you learned. Give it a little time to seep in. Slowly draw the strokes. Yeah. So once we are done with that, you can extend it as much as you want. Probably I am going to stop here or insert one or two here also. Take your time. Small little spaces can be inked. Some bit of inking always adds to the look. Tangle luva, and then some connectors, some of these lines, always a good idea. Yeah. A hidden one here. So we are done with that, drawn that tangle luva. Now let us introduce some other tangle for the rest of the tile. So I am going to be drawing a simple tangle called finery. Yeah, so I have started with these lines, double lines, and I am going to divide the rest of my tile using these lines. Draw a simple tangle called finery, which is a Zentangle original. A slight curve to the lines. I think it's a good idea to do that, but you can always keep the lines straight. So whichever way you feel like. Yeah. Now the tangle finery, you can either draw it this way, it's up to you. So I'm going to introduce these lines, curved lines like these. Yeah, again do the same this side. Taking cue from the other side. Again start here. Take your time. Right, so it's a slightly curved line as I go towards the center line. Yeah, that's the only thing. So here probably you can add something else, or probably I'll add another dividing line and then draw the tangle. Like this. Right, so now the next step is to complete this tangle. So what happens is we add these, I don't know what to call them, it's a knife kind of a shape, pointed shape. Something like this, and you just add some dots. That's simple a tangle to draw. Again, one of those tangles which assumes a lot of dimension when shaded, but you don't realize it when you draw it, because it is very simple to draw. Yes, again I'm going to add these brooding shapes, sharp, and then add these dots. So draw at your own pace. I'm going to do that throughout. Almost finished drawing my finery. Yeah. So I'm going to add a little weight on one side of the line that I have drawn. The dividing lines that I have drawn, I'm just redoing the line, adding a little more boldness. Take your time, do that exercise. Yeah. That's about it. We don't need to do anything else. Let us move on to shading our tile now. So let us start with our heart rope. As I mentioned, always a good idea to add graphite on the intersections. Slowly do that exercise. Add graphite where lines seem to be going over, under. Slowly blend it. Don't blend too much. You don't want the entire thing go gray. Keep the whites discreet. Yeah, that's simple to shade your heart rope. Coming to luva, as I mentioned, where you have added the etching, you can add a little graphite also. So it will add a little more character to your luva. Slowly blend, go to each, take your time. You can also add on the two sides of these bands. Alternatively, you can also ink it, add orbs inside it, whatever you feel like. Go with that. I have just added at two ends. Yeah. Moving on to our finery now, adding on both sides of each of these lines. So slowly add graphite on two sides of each of these dividing lines. Don't add too much. Where spaces are more, you can add, of course. Take your time. And the last one here. Right? So let's now start to blend. Tangle finery will now come to life because each of these sections will look like folds. Yeah? So let the edges be a little darker. Pull the graphite towards the center, but do not cover the center. So take your time, slowly do that exercise for all. Where spaces are small, don't blend too much. Where you have enough space, you can pull the graphite towards the center a little more. Yeah? So you can see the dimension that shading adds to this simple tangle finery. You don't really realize how beautiful the tangle will look like unless you shade it. Of course, it is open to tangulations also. Instead of dots, you can add anything else you feel like. I kept it simple because my focus is on the other two tangles. This is a supporting tangle. Yeah. So that's the tangle finery. Yeah, so that's our tile for today. Simple tile, 2 new tangles that we added to our kitty. Let's close our tile here. Yeah, let's sign and date it. So I shall see you again with some more tangles issued by CZTs. Hope you are enjoying. Thanks for all your response and comments. And I'll see you again. Bye-bye.